My version of the Cookie Monster cookie was a hit with my customers and a top seller at all my markets. Not only do they look adorable, but they taste amazing. Let's make a batch together. I start by creaming butter, brown sugar, and white sugar together. Then I add in eggs and vanilla. To get that beautiful navy blue Cookie Monster color, I use the AmeriColor Royal Blue food coloring. And then I add in a little bit of salt and some baking powder. I let that mix in my stand mixer, and because this is a giant batch of cookies, it doesn't fit in my stand mixer, so I keep the wet and dry ingredients separate. In a big bowl, I mix up flour with 3 kinds of chocolate chips. I have white, milk, and semi-sweet chocolate chips. Then I add in crushed Chips Ahoy cookies and crushed Oreo cookies. Then I mix my wet and my dry ingredients together in my large bowl and get it to be a really nice dough consistency. I roll out the dough into 3.5-ounce balls, and I put them in a Tupperware container in the fridge for at least 24 hours. On baking day, I use my large cookie sheets and I space these dough balls out about 2 inches apart. I pop these in the oven for 12 minutes, and at the 12-minute mark, I pull them out and add my toppings. I break Oreo cookies in half and Chips Ahoy cookies in half, and I also use these candy eyes from Wilton. When the dough's been baking for about half the time, it's soft enough to add the toppings, but not fully cooked. Once I add my toppings, I pop it back in the oven and finish cooking for the remainder of the time. I find by doing the toppings halfway through the baking process, it helps keep the shape of the cookie looking perfect and also allows you to place those toppings in the right place so they look aesthetically pleasing. You do have to work quick when you're adding the toppings when they're partially baked because you don't want them sitting out of the oven for too long. When they come out of the oven, they look like this. I let them chill on the cookie sheet for 10 minutes before I move them to a cooling rack, and that is a crucial step in cookie baking. Then you can transfer them to a cooling rack to cool completely. The full recipe is available on my website at bakedbythelake.ca. Let me know in the comments if you're going to give them a try.